Good evening, and welcome to the Miniverse. Today is Monday, July 28th, as far as you know. Tonight I'm in Paisley's parked studio, and you can see Paisley is parked. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the reset that the Miniverse is about to go through. You see, I was stuck in a rut. And one of the things that I've come to learn is whenever I get stuck in a rut, it's because I have lost my groove. And so I took a look at the people that I respect, and I figured out that the best people I know, regardless of their age or their profession or gender, they're creative people. They're woodworkers, knitters, car guys, crafters, philosophizers, potters, songwriters, models. They take stuff and they make other stuff. They make art, be it little stop signs for villages in their basement so the trains can ride by, or prayer shawls for people so they can have them and know that they're cared for. They make music. They make ornaments. They make furniture. They dance. They laugh. They tell stories. They add to the lives of the people around them. And they never take away from. Now, I can't draw, but I can tell a pretty good story, and I can write songs of a questionable nature. I like grooves more than solos, and I like chord progressions, and I like trying to play different musical instruments like the drums or a bass guitar. And I wasn't doing any of that. I wasn't really creating anything. I was just walking through the days. Until a few years ago, it was almost as if I was just waiting to die. It wasn't that I wanted to die, but I certainly wasn't showing that I wanted to live. So as Adam Savage used to say on my favorite show, Mythbusters, I refuse to accept your reality and choose to substitute one of my own. Therefore, I created the Miniverse! For the past 13 months, I've been making this up as I went along. There was a little bit of organization that tried to come in every now and then, but I was buying things like they weren't making them by the ton, and I was chasing pink Squire minis and Harley Benton shorties, and I still haven't managed to find them. I found some great buys along the way by companies like Vox and CNZ Audio. Who knew? And I've made some questionable decisions along the way too, like covering a Mitchell MM100 in copper foil. And I've also, spoilers. So in a fit of organizational obsession, I sat down and I mapped out the next few episodes. And that grew and grew and grew and grew. And I'm just having fun saying that word. And it went all the way to the end of the year. And what you're going to see until the end of the year is going to feature every guitar in the Miniverse at least once. Some guitars that you haven't even seen because they've just joined the Miniverse. Some guitars that may reappear in the Miniverse after spending some time in some alternate dimensions. And my goal, put quite simply, is to try to produce as much nonsense as possible. To add to, not take away from. So this is my pledge to you. Wait, I can't read it. Until the end of the year, I'm going to waste a lot of my time having fun. And I'm going to invite you to waste time right alongside with me. Some of the songs that you're going to hear are awful. I know they're awful. Some of them are going to be funny. Some of them are going to be funny because they're awful. Some of them will be unintentionally funny because they're awful and I took them seriously. There are going to be a lot of mistakes, a lot of missed chords, and there are going to be some things that are out of tune. But maybe we can have a lot of fun. you're going to see some unexpected surprises. You're going to see some mini basses. You're going to see some guitars that you don't expect to see, especially on a channel that's devoted to minis. But you have to remember, we also kind of follow a certain mantra. They are all toys, and we are all children. And I am going to play. I'm not going to practice. I'm going to play. This is my hobby. It's not my profession. It'll never be my profession. And this studio, this room where the Miniverse is my wood shop, my garage, my workbench, my canvas, my crafting table. And in that spirit, I want to say to the folks of the country that seems to watch the videos the longest, Habari na karibu kwai Jumaiya ya Gita Ndogo. Apparently, more people watch in Uganda for a long period of time than any other country. How scary is it that the Miniverse is all over the world? And who knows, maybe it's time to start testing my travel capabilities and, take these minis on the road and update my passport. Meta Mondays are going to be looking at the big picture. They're going to contain community information, MGS radio broadcasts, which I'm not even going to try to get the video to sync up with the audio anymore. They're going to basically show projects that went wrong and some builds that might have gone right and random bits of information and things that don't fit anywhere else. Wednesday nights are going to be the Wednesday night info shows. These are going to be reviews and breakdowns and impressions and information about the specific guitars in the Miniverse, or guitars that are twins or sisters or brothers or cousins. This is where I'm going to spend my budget on the new guitars and gear and mods and that kind of thing. And I'm also going to include some tone samples. Unless, of course, I forget. And then I won't. But I'll try to. And some of that may feature some of the same riffs and progressions over and over again. I would like to tell you that that's intentional, because that way you can compare one to the other. But we all know that's utter nonsense. And it's just because I'm not that creative and I play the same things all over again because it's fun and I like the groove. Groove! Friday nights are going to be what I'm calling center stage releases. And these are going to be a bit more produced, multi-track recordings. They may contain lyrics, and it's going to be more of the slick content that you're going to see from this point on. And by slick, I mean produced rather hastily with genuine disregard for A440. Unless I change my mind. So today, July 28th, in the Miniverse continuity, also known as June 9th, I invite you to like, share, subscribe, comment, enjoy, and play along. Her laughter rolls off pictures hung upon the wall. It carries hope and joy and love all down the hall. I'm in the studio hearing the piece of it all. That girl ain't nothing but pretty.